I figured I'd do an update video on my military truck project. Got the front clip off, which is nice. A lot easier to access motor parts and stuff like that since I'm currently working on pulling the motor out. The only thing that's stopping it from coming out is actually down here. Way down here. Inside there, where you got cage nuts with the pins in there that's been sitting in this truck since 1944 roughly. I mean, I'm assuming this truck's a 44, 45 due to the grill that was on it. But that's what's holding the motor in right now. And that's the only part that's actually holding the motor in. The back part, because the motor actually bolts to the bell housing. The bell housing acts as like the transmission member, and actually, where can we get right down there is actually where it is bolted to. See a little bit. Not really. Okay. Well, anyways, got some fiero seats in here. This is 2 passenger seats. This one's actually out of my old parts fiero I no longer own, and that's out of my first fiero, which I replaced those seats with Trans Am seats. So I picked the 2 passenger ones because they're the ones that were in better shape. This one I actually don't have the driver one for it. This one I do, but the driver one was pretty ripped up. But sitting in here actually feels pretty good with these seats in it. Mirror works, some data plates, awesome vacuum powered wipers. That one's missing. Actually, I have it, but headliner's kind of trashed. That's got to go. I mean, this thing's like rock hard. But excellent oil pressure. But this is kind of like my newest thing here. I used plexiglass. I know I posted some pictures of it online, and guys were like, "Oh, that's stupid, that's dumb," because as soon as you go off-roading, the body flexes, the stuff's going to break and shatter. But considering this truck isn't going to be going off-roading for quite some time, I'm not too worried. I mean, it's going to be more of a on-road vehicle than an off-road vehicle, so I don't see myself going Bajan or rock crawling or nothing with it. I mean, it's definitely not going to be set up for such a thing. Right now, there's no transmission. It's just a bell housing. But what's also cool is I got the door latches working. Kind of, though the seats are nice, comfortable, and they really hold you in there real nice. They're a little bit of a pain with this bigger steering wheel in there. But I kind of want to keep that in the truck. That's part of the coolness. This originally had clutch head bolts, which are like these. Got a good view of it there. That's a clutch head bolt. And the inside is just covered with them. My camera to refocus here. Only thing I need though is the rod that runs between the door latch, this door handle. Isn't really doing much, but the outside one works. Which is cool. But when I replaced a lot of the bolts that I had to remove clutch head bolts, I replaced them with Allen heads. So that way, in the future, they're a little, tools are more accessible to get them out. This one had a ground out because it was stripped out. It's kind of how I have this mounted, the seats, just a chunk of plywood. It's actually only bolted to the front. The back's not mounted at all yet. I want to get something more that covers the whole thing real nice and you can fasten better than the option I got. But I'm really digging this plexiglass floor. It's cool. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Here's the original transmission out of the truck. these are the levers for the four-wheel drive, for the divorce transfer case. This is for the parking brake, 4-speed, and this little lever here is for accessing it in reverse. Everything turns, which is nice, including the PTO drive, which is off the side. All of it works, so that's good. Because when it was in the truck, I couldn't turn nothing. The motor doesn't turn, though I haven't really tried all too hard, but considering I pulled a mouse nest and damn near shop vac container full of crap that was like in the bell housing and stuff, I don't expect it to really work. The oil lines still have to take off. Got the oil filter off, hanging on the hooks, the brackets actually for it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm so far on the truck itself. Got this step off. Well, the steps are coming off both sides. This bracket is loose. I think it's twisted and bent a little bit here. But like that's coming out. This battery tray is coming out from my other truck. Once again, these are the axles I'm putting in this truck. The front, the rear. Measured it all since this came out of a 1-ton. The spring perches on this right here are the same width as what's on this truck. So literally just new U-bolts and that axle's in. This one, it's the same, roughly the same distance, except these springs are wider than what's on the front of the truck. So that is going to be a problem. These are narrower. I don't recall the numbers offhand. That looks like 2 inch and that's like 2.5, 3. Those springs are also longer, so I can't just swap springs too. But when I do all that, I'm going to mount some modern shocks on it, get rid of these because I don't know if they work. And replacement ones are ungodly expensive. So this door fully works, including the inside door handle. So it started working when I tried getting this bolt out here. It won't focus, whatever. But try getting that out to get the door handle off, and that door handle is stubborn. It won't come out. And I pretty much have it all ground down pretty good, and that door handle will not budge. Because I was actually going to pull this whole thing off to get at it, to get this working. And I mean, I had all the screws out real nice. But on this one, I even got the hand crank, the window working. Window works actually on both doors, except the glass is missing on this one. And surprisingly, glass isn't that expensive for this truck. I mean, that's what I originally got this piece of plexiglass from my old work. They were throwing it out, and I'm like, well, I'll take it. And actually, I had the intention of using it as like for the glass in the truck, but other than a crack on this window here, a little bit of the fogging and stuff that happens with this old glass. That one's got like a bullet hole through it. But the glass itself is actually not that expensive. I mean, any 41 through 46 Chev pickup or GMC pickup glass will work, since the cabs are actually the same, except the military trucks didn't have the fuel tank under the seat, and it doesn't got the filler neck on the side of the cab like the civilian trucks. I know the 141 civilian truck that I had has a different gauge cluster, and my 41 military truck has that same civilian gauge cluster. I haven't seen any civilian trucks factory with the round gauges, but that didn't start until I think later in the production of the military trucks. I don't know what year they switched over. I think someone said like 42, but I'm just trying to remember that off the top of my head. And the civilian trucks also have a hand crank on the dash to open the windshield. The windshield only opens up a couple inches, like 2-3 inches for a vent. Military trucks are like the Model A's, where this windshield I don't think is original to the truck. This might actually be out of a civilian truck they put into this truck, just because you see how this windshield is mounted in there, it's not good. I mean, there's one there, one on the bottom, one on the other side, and one on top. Because I'm gonna crawl up here as long as I don't fall. Ooh. Whoa, that was close. Almost fell. That'd have been funny for you guys. But like, this is supposed to be mounted on here. This is the hinge to open the window. This window frame's actually not in too bad a shape. My other one's a little worse. Mine's got some rot down here, which is probably the possibility why this one was changed, because I don't think they would have had a chrome strip on the military trucks. I mean, that kind of draws attention. This actually opens up on this truck, but the lever inside's disconnected, and the lever's froze. But I can open it up by hand, which is kind of something you don't want, because the wind's easily going to flip that open. No, let's not die falling off.